Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marie and I'm an artist and wanted to share these processes of my gouache paintings that maybe will help you learn along your gouache journey. So today I am sharing my process of this mountain landscape. So let's get started. So here's my art supplies. I have my 2 jars of water, my spray of water. I have a 1/2-inch flat brush that I used for this painting, and I also have my gouache palette with a separate tube of white because I use a lot of white. I also wanted to mention that I'm still fairly new to gouache, so it's been a few months now and I'm learning a lot on the way, so I am far from being an expert, but I just wanted to share this. And today I was thinking about these videos that I've been posting of my commentaries, and I realized that this is really just a journal for myself too, to see how far I come as an artist in gouache. And it's nice to see the progress, and also even in these commentaries it's practice for me because I'm not used to speaking in front of an audience. So this is great practice, even just for fun. It's just an experience, so I'm so grateful for this. Okay, so I will post the reference photo here. And this photo is of Chopta Chandrashila Trek. And it's such a beautiful, colorful photo, and with a highlight of the mountains being the focal point. It was so beautiful. I had to paint it, and the photo is from Instagram. I had asked someone for permission to use their photo, and their username on Instagram was klash_14r. So thank you so much for letting me use this photo for this study. And I just thought of this idea that if there's anyone out there that has some photos of landscapes that you'd like me to paint, you can email them to me and I can choose a few that I can use as reference and mention you on these videos. So I will leave my email address on the description and you can send it to me there. And if you have any questions at all about sending me photos or anything about painting, you can also email me too. Okay, so enough about my babbling. I'm going to start to explain the process of how I painted this painting. So each time I try a different method of painting to see what seems to stick or what I'm most comfortable in. And this time I decided to start with the mountain and start to paint the most colorful bits, and then I preserved the lightest lights and decided to add the white for last. And it was a great gouache artist, Heather Ian, who had given me some tip to preserve the white, and that was so useful because I used to paint the lightest parts in a darker color and then laid out the white on top, and it just wouldn't be as bright. So I thank you, Heather, for this amazing tip, and please go check out her work. So I started to paint with cadmium yellow and white, and also cadmium orange. And then for the shadowy areas and the lightest parts on the left side of the mountain, I used a mix of white with ultramarine blue just to block everything in. And I start to block in the lower part of the mountains in the background with a violet. I found that a little bit too bright, and I think I toned it down later on in the video. One thing I would like to add is that, you know, I'm still practicing, so I'd like to say that I always get the value and color right, but I don't. So it's a journey for me, and it's a big experience. And what I like about gouache is that you can go over it and fix your errors, like I'm doing right now, and not like watercolor that I'm more used to. So that's something that I would like to work on, is getting the values correctly the first time. But as for now, I'm still enjoying this lesson. So here I start blocking in the sky with ultramarine blue and white, and I later transition and use phthalo blue. If I had to do it again, I would probably have just used phthalo blue and white. I had learned that in sunny days, it's more phthalo blue that you need, and in overcast or gloomy days, that it's more ultramarine blue. So maybe that tip would help you when you paint with gouache. So I painted all of the orange highlights that you see in the photo, and then I decided to start to paint all the light blue that you see in the foreground, and I used a mixture of ultramarine blue and white. And here I start to block in the road using a mixture of cadmium yellow, alizarin crimson, and ultramarine blue. I find that this mixture is really a beautiful gray. So for the rest of the blocking, I basically just study the value of the photo, and then the most predominant color, and then I'll just match that just to fill the page so it's kind of less intimidating. And then after that, I go over it with details. So I'll let the video play so that you could see just me blocking everything out bit by bit. I also wanted to mention that if you seem to not get the value or color right the first time in the blocking stage, that's okay, because you can easily go over it and adjust the values as you see fit, as I'm doing right now. And I decided that the road was a bit boring, just being gray and just one color. So I decided to break it up and just paint random colors that were on the cool side. And I'm hoping that that just brought some interest into the foreground. So I'm so sorry, I forgot to press record when I painted the tops of the mountains, so I'll just explain that to you. So I used cadmium orange with a bit of violet for the top of the mountain that the sun was shining on, and then I used a combination of violet with ultramarine blue for the left side in shadow. And now you see me here just defining the mountaintops in the distance. And just showing how handy a flat brush is, I'm just painting the shadow on this light post, and you can see how straight a line you can get with this paintbrush. So in the photo, this bush was more darker tones, but I found that the painting needed something more. So I decided to mix green with cadmium yellow and just give this bush a little bit of life. I find that I struggle with just using the reference photo as inspiration, and I tend to copy exactly what I see. So this was a good experience to kind of go off of, you know, what I decide what the painting needs. And I was really proud to risk a lot just for this bush. And here is my favorite part, taking off the tape for the final reveal. And I'm glad that I remembered to film it. I have been forgetting to film these tape reveals, so I'm glad that I remembered this time around. So here is the finished piece. I hope you liked it again, and I hope that it helped you learn more about gouache. I had learned a lot from it. I feel like I'm starting to develop a system of steps that seems to help me along the way. And also I had painted a little mini before doing this larger version. So I had actually painted the mini during an Instagram live feed that I had done. So I do them every Sundays. If you want to check them out, my account name is M Santos Art, and I usually do them every Sunday afternoon. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. I was really happy sharing my process with you. So if you did find this helpful, if I can just ask you to like and subscribe, I'll be posting more videos of my processes in the future, and hopefully it will help you too. So that's it for now. I hope that you are all having a good week, and I hope you're all staying safe during this quarantine and not going too stir crazy. And I'll see you next time. Oh, and if you do have any suggestions or feedback, I'd love to hear from you. I always want to improve these videos, and I know that it will help me with your help. So I wish you happy painting and see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.